Welcome back to Philadelphia. You're taking a live look at Salome Devidze, 37 years old, calls Jupiter, Florida, her home. She has 3 APP gold medals this season already. She's going up against Christa Gecheva, 31 years old. She calls Costa Mesa, California, so Orange County, California, home at this point. Christa looking to upset Salome Devidze, who is so strong in her women's singles game. And let's get started, shall we?
Well, that one just wide. Yeah, if Gecheva is going to stand a chance against Devidze today, we saw it last week, well, 2 weeks ago in St. Louis with Dominique Schaefer. She's going to have to hit some stronger angles. She's going to have to get that ball to dip down because Devidze is so strong with that ball sitting up.
And right there, Chad, you hit on it. She's going to have to be active and play very fast with good pace. If she doesn't, and Devidze sets the tone and plays at her pace, it's going to be trouble for Gecheva.
A good follow there for Devidze. A nice deep approach. And that's something that she's changed in her game. She's really worked on is getting to the net and being able to take those balls early and out of the air. She used to just stay at the baseline. We used to talk about how the shorter ball, the angle making her move was her kryptonite, but she's made a lot of adjustments in her game over the last couple of months.
That ball sailing long, so Salome Devidze really quickly building up a little lead here in game 1. Playing best 2 of 3 games to 11, unless, of course, Christa Gecheva gets 2 games on Devidze. Then we'll go to a championship tiebreaker game to 15.
Wow, what a ball cross court there from Salome Devidze. As again, she had Gecheva twice to her forehand, pulls her just enough over so she can roll that two-handed backhand cross court.
Devidze with the serve.
Oh. Caught that one a little late, and the paddle wobbled in her hand when she hit that one.
So it'll be Christa Gecheva with the serve. Now those hard serves, that's something when Salome Devidze was playing Dominique Schaefer, we saw Schaefer have some success with.
Yeah, you have to go hard in the serve here. It's a risk-reward kind of approach here with singles now. Oh, too good.
But that's tough right there as Gecheva's coming in when she pulls Devidze to a corner. Now, in singles, it seems like you want to go sideline to sideline, but if you're going to come to the net, you really want to go down the middle because then it doesn't create such a bad angle. Right there, you put Devidze in the corner, and she can create an angle, and that's exactly what she does.
Gecheva throwing a little bit more backspin on that return there. Even though it was high, the backspin has a tendency to give Devidze a little bit of trouble. She wants that ball flatter and harder so she can use the pace coming off of that return.
Both of these women coming over to pickleball from the sport of tennis. Christa actually says since she was 5 years old, called Wimbledon her hometown. She worked at the All England Lawn Tennis Club for 10 years straight, from 15 to 25. Pretty fun experience for her, but started pursuing pickleball full-time not that long ago. And here she is, women's singles State Farm gold medal match in Philadelphia.
Devidze missing that ball right there. It's an easy.
No, the line judge didn't call it out.
No. I think Gecheva was the one who initially called it out, but line judge called it in.
Looked like Gecheva afterwards said, no, it was in. So we do have line judges here on Championship Sunday. Throughout the tournament, players calling their own lines for the most part.
Yeah, nice touch there from Devidze, and another good approach shot. deep to the backhand side of Gecheva. She was pulled out wide, couldn't do much with that ball other than just throw it up and get it to land in the kitchen. Devidze with a little bit of touch, and then once Gecheva comes up, it's all over.
5-2.
Such a good ball right down the line there from Salome Devidze. And again, she's on the run right there, but because she is not trying to whip that ball back across her body, she goes flat down the line.
Timeout, receiver. 6-2, 1 minute.
Timeout called on the court by, I believe it was Christa Gecheva, and it's time now for our Tervis hydration break. Like we mentioned, it is pretty warm here in Philadelphia, so the players making sure they have plenty of water, toweling off, getting those electrolytes in so that they can be at their absolute best here in the gold medal match. And of course, we want to be at our absolute best as well. So we also all have our Tervis.
I quite like my Tervis water bottle with my name on it.
And so we don't get them mixed up. Because Chad and I have the same
color.
color.
I don't want to be sharing water bottles with you. I'm sorry. No. But you know what? Talking about hot.
I
Tell
can't
us.
wait.
Didn't we do something right before today?
We did.
Oh, in St. Louis, wait a minute. We don't have video of this. Surely not.
I don't think so.
Not.
Surely not.
Oh, look at that right there.
There
So
it
when
is.
we were in St. Louis, we made a rule that you can't say the word hot because it really was all weekend long. And so if you said the word hot, you had to do a push-up. We paid for it this morning. For the record, I had to do 1. These two had to do 7 and 8.
Yeah,
so
but I did make you do
following the
2.
rules. Yeah, you did. That was pretty rude of you.
Oh, that one just wide there by Devidze. Gecheva was kind of hung out in the middle of the court there.
Devidze doing a good job of building a little lead in this first game, the women's singles gold medal match.
See if we get another look at that one. Devidze adamant that that ball was not wide. The line judge calling it wide. It was somewhat of a late call.
Here's another look at it.
Tough from that angle. But the call stands.
So with the call standing, it is Gecheva with the serve. Trailing 3-6.
Yeah. That's such a great swinging volley right there by Devidze. You want to talk about getting a ball clean right there. She does. It's going to come right at you.
Well, and that's something that we talked about the last couple of times Devidze has been out here on Championship Sunday. You can't give her a ball up while she's up at the kitchen line. You have to give something that's got some shape, something that's actually a little bit softer that drops down, because then it's a little bit more difficult for her to pick up, and that's where she's shown some tendencies of having some trouble up at the kitchen line. But if you try to pass her, she's got the reach and she's got the coverage.
3-6.
Oh, that ball was out. She caught the net cord and it went out wide.
If it hadn't, though, Gecheva was ready with the around the post, which did come back in. Another look at it here. Almost in, maybe a few inches out.
I liked in the middle of that point, Gecheva threw up a lob over the backhand side of Devidze, not giving it to her forehand.
4-6.
She bailed herself out nicely. If you're going to go over the backhand side with that lob.
Ooh, little unlucky there. She's caught too much of the net cord, but she had Devidze on the cross court.
Devidze with the serve, up 6-4 here in game 1 of our women's singles gold medal match.
That's such a good ball from Devidze. You watch her approach this backhand, and instead of really ripping this ball to Gecheva, she takes something off it. So Gecheva's hitting this ball really off the ground and can't get up and over.
Yeah, the last couple of returns from Gecheva just been too short. She needs to get some depth and not allow Devidze to step up behind it.
Devidze just going sideline to sideline on that point, making Gecheva work for it.
I mean, you're watching two totally different kind of approaches here where it's Devidze controlling the kitchen line and Gecheva's just in full scramble mode right now, trying to get to every ball. There it was again, change of pace on the return, the third shot from Devidze. And it's forcing, like you said, Chad, Gecheva to have to really create her own power when Devidze takes some pace off of it. So great job here from Devidze with a 9-4 lead in game one.
Gecheva calling the timeout on the court, trying to catch her breath here. Game one happening right now. Salome Devidze, I mentioned she's based out of Florida, but she's originally actually from the country of Georgia. And we know that pickleball, the fastest growing sport here in America, Salome Devidze doing everything she can to bring it to her home country of Georgia, too. She's been emailing, and another pro here on the APP Tour, William Sobek, is working to bring pickleball and expand the sport in his home country of Croatia. So the two of them sort of strategizing together about how they can help their home country enjoy this fantastic sport that so many people in America are loving recently.
Well, I can tell you that the sport of pickleball is growing in Europe. I was over at the English Open a few weeks ago, and there was 1,100 players in that tournament this year, up from 300 from all over Europe.
Love to see it. Pickleball growing around the world. Here at home, though, in Philadelphia, Salome Devidze with a chance to win the game right now. And win it she does.
Yeah,
Salome Devidze
just
taking
too good, too strong of a performance there. Gecheva giving Devidze too much pace at time and too much height on those balls at the kitchen line. Needs to make those adjustments going into game.
She did exactly what she did. Took pace off that last ball right there, so she's doing and feeling really well right now.
As she should be. Salome Devidze takes game one of our women's singles gold medal match. We'll have game two of the APP PickleballSuperstore.com Philadelphia Open when we come back.
There's only one way now, just one way out. With every single breath comes crashing down. There's only one.
Thanks.
Jake from State Farm, I really need to know.
Go spicy or go home, right?
What? No. What if I'm not sure I have the right coverage for my car?
Oh, your agent can help me make sure it's just what you need.
What if I accidentally hit a food truck and it gets covered in empanadas?
You can file a claim on the app. At State Farm, we're there for your what-ifs.
Thanks.
Oh.
That is too spicy. That's for you.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
The Pro XR pickleball paddle answers the age-old question of how to get paddle speed and control with the same paddle and one grip, and this is it. Pro XR gives you more spin, greater control, and quicker reloads on every shot in the game because you always have that constant feel for that leverage and control and paddle speed that we're all looking for. Pro XR is the most revolutionary technology in pickleball.
Welcome back to Philadelphia. You're taking a live look at Christa Gecheva. She has a tall task ahead of her here in Game 2 of our women's singles gold medal match. Going to have to dig deep and come back to try and force a decisive Game 3 against Salome Devidze, who, as you can see, won the first game 11-4 and now sits one game away from a gold medal.
Even there, Chad, you and I are talking off camera going, less speed, more shape for Gecheva, right? Right there, what'd she do?
Mm-hmm.
Less speed, puts a lot of spin on it, and Devidze just rips a winner down the line.
1-0.
Yeah, ball's just wide, but that's an excellent ball by Gecheva. They taking that one lower to the backhand side. Devidze tries to create a sharp angle, but overdoes it. But again, she got it crossed up, she got it reaching, and then that forces Devidze to do more. Oh wow!
Great get there by Gecheva, but can't come back. Devidze doing a good job placing that ball.
She almost got to that last
my
one, too.
My legs just fell off watching her go.
Mm-hmm.
You pulled your hamstring just watching.
100%.
1-0.
Again, Devidze just with the perfect placement, just out of the reach of the paddle of Gecheva.
Well, Devidze's approach shots are so good right now. It's giving her time to get up there and really establish herself at the kitchen line. Then she can read and move, and then it's just forcing Gecheva to completely be on the run on every ball that she's hitting.
2-0.
That ball was in. Gecheva's like...
like, really?
What's the shape on this? Yeah,
Ooh.
right on the line.
Just paints that sideline. Devidze with a very similar story here to start Game 2 as she did Game 1. Built herself a 4-0 lead in Game 1 before Gecheva could get on the board, and here she is up 3-0 trying to mimic that.
That's a great ball cross court there from Gecheva. On the run, pulls this across her body, just out of the reach of Salome Devidze. Beautifully done.
So it's going to be Gecheva with an opportunity to put herself on the board here in our women's singles gold medal match, game number 2. And again, Devidze just placing it so perfectly to where Gecheva has to run all the way cross court, try to turn on a dime to get the next one. What does she need to do here to try and eliminate some of the potential that Devidze has?
Exactly.
So, in St. Louis, we were talking about how when Devidze isn't hitting the ball clean, then it's giving her an opponent the opportunity, and Schaefer really took full advantage of it. But Devidze, that ball right there, she's hitting it so clean today. This is probably the best that we've seen her striking in the last few tournaments, and that one with shape, she hasn't had that shape before. She's really dropping that paddle head underneath, coming up hard behind that ball, hitting it with heavy topspin, and just getting that ball to shape and drop down.
But again, it's the same thing. It's Devidze controlling the kitchen line. She's really not exerting a ton of energy, and she is pulling Gecheva sideline to sideline, making her work for everything. And just like this right now, Gecheva burns a timeout again.
Yeah.
She burned both of them in Game 1, and Devidze hasn't even thought about burning a timeout.
One thing for Gecheva just to be able to get the serve back, and I said it in Game 1, her returns need to be deeper. Right now, they're short. They're allowing Devidze to move up on that ball, take it early, and it's cutting down the reaction time for Gecheva. if she can go a little bit deeper through the middle, because like you said, Dom, it cuts down the amount of angle that Devidze can create, which is pulling Gecheva out wide. If she goes a little bit more middle, then she can cut down that angle and then start a little bit more of that cat and mouse. Right now, she's just giving Devidze too many balls where she can put that good swing on. She can hit it cleanly. She's taking it out of the air, cutting down reaction time, and Gecheva's just having to scramble all over the court.
And we talk about, too, passing shots. It's not always about the passing shots. Let's play, like you mentioned, a little cat and mouse. Let me see Gecheva drop a ball in, force Devidze to have to play it off the bounce.
Devidze trying to build on this 5-0 lead that she has built here in Game 2 and win herself the gold medal, but that one sailing just a bit wide. So
and that's a better return. So it was a deeper return, wasn't as wide, didn't give as much angle. Devidze tries to hit the passing shot down the line, but has to push it wider because Gecheva can cover that.
Gecheva with the serve now. I was catching up with Gecheva earlier in this tournament, and she's playing, obviously, against Salome Devidze, who has been a staple here on the APP Tour. Gecheva, relatively new to the sport of pickleball. She quit her job a few months ago as a tennis coach to try and pursue pickleball full-time, and she actually started a little website called Diary of an Unemployed Pickleball Player to share the stories of what it's like to play on the road here on the tour, and certainly we'll have some stories from this one, her women's singles gold medal match.
Well, a great ball right there from Devidze again. What she does so well is she holds that ball on her paddle almost to the last second and almost feels Gecheva just pinch a little bit left, and it opens up the right side. Change of pace, Chad.
Yep.
There it was right there. That was the best ball from Gecheva.
I don't know if that was if she meant to take that much pace off. It was a big serve from Devidze, and Gecheva was pinned all the way back at the fence there. But even if she didn't, that's something to take note of. Ball just deep. I mean, Gecheva has to go for it right here too. You know, if that ball's right on the line, that's an excellent ball. She opens up the court. Just missing it a couple of inches deep.
That ball sailing good 4 or 5 inches long. So Gecheva with another chance here to cut into Devidze's lead here in Game 2 of our women's singles gold medal match.
It's just such a heavy ball from Devidze. When we talk about a heavy ball, right? As soon as she gets into that, it almost seems like the ball's picking up pace as it gets to you. So that creates that heaviness on your paddle to where she becomes just a little late on that ball. And a timeout here again now, but on the side of Salome Devidze is she's been held on 5 for a couple now. So now she's just going to regroup, take the offensive timeout, and come back.
So Salome Devidze with a shot here to extend her 5-1 lead that she's built up in Game 2 of our women's singles gold medal match. Devidze with some experience here in the women's singles gold medal match. We talked about in St. Louis. She walked away with the silver after getting double-dipped by Dominique Schaefer, who came all the way through the back draw to win her first gold medal on the APP Tour in women's singles this season.
You have Martina Frantova over there in the corner of Christa Gecheva, giving her some pointers here during this timeout, trying to get her fired up. And Martina Frantova had a very good tournament herself, taking a bronze medal in mixed doubles. We got a chance to see her play, playing very well.
Turn it. 5-1.
Devidze with the serve up 5-1.
She tries to go for the heavy backspin there, but just over swings. That's a difficult thing with that open face, trying to hit the backswing. If you do too much, that ball continues to float, and that one missing deep. Better adjustment there. I mean, just within one. She doesn't overswing, but again, the backspin doesn't give Devidze anything to create shape with.
There's the drop, Chad, that we talked about, and Gecheva hitting a fifth shot drop there. She had a third shot kind of cut drive, and then she drops that fifth with a nice forehand roll. Causes a little issue. Like to see a little more of that from her here.
Oh, she had it, and she went too hard.
She fed it right into the wheelhouse of Salome Devidze right there. Watch her approach this, and Devidze guesses right, and it gets right to her two-handed backhand.
I mean, in that situation there, if she takes a little bit more off of it, gets it down to the feet, even if Devidze guesses right, it still puts her in a position where she's not going to put a good swing on it.
That time, Devidze sending her forehand cross court. Gives her a 7-2 lead here in game number 2. What adjustments did you see from Devidze after that timeout that she called?
Honestly, I don't think it was many adjustments. It was more of a breather. Let's regroup. I haven't scored in a little bit, so let's take a break. Because, again, her game plan is great right now. She's doing exactly what she wants to do. She's dictating play. She's got Gecheva moving all over the court.
Yeah, Devidze is so dangerous when she's stepping into the ball. We saw the better return. Devidze hit it off of her back foot, pulling that one wide. The difference here on that return, on that approach, Devidze steps into it, follows behind, and she's just taking such clean swings and putting the pressure on Gecheva.
Devidze looking to keep that pressure on here. 5-point lead, and sitting just 4 points away from taking the game, which would mean she'd win the match. But Gecheva not going down without a fight.
No, that's a nice cut volley from her up at the kitchen line, and really deadens that ball and forces Devidze to try and hit up on it. It's Devidze, unfortunately, right now for Gecheva. She's got her on strings.
Yeah.
And she's doing everything she wants. And the best part about Devidze up at the kitchen line, too, is you guys watch, because I'm sure she'll come up here again, is that she's not taking a very big backswing. She's got everything out in front, nice and easy, and controlling the ball out in front of her.
A better ball there from Gecheva, getting Devidze fully stretched out on the backhand side, but it was not looking promising there until that last ball.
Dom, you talk about the shorter backswing that Devidze has been using. What kind of advantage does that give a player?
The bigger the backswing, the more room for error you have. Keeping it short and sweet, you control the ball so much better. And talk about control right there. It's Gecheva taking pace off again, Chad. It's something that we want to see more of. And as she goes down the line here, that ball's dipping at the feet.
Good deep serve created the shorter return. Gecheva steps in, creates the shape, gets it down to the feet. It's nothing Devidze can do on that one.
That one also sailing just a bit wide. You see Gecheva with the fist pump there because it's a little 2-0 run. And when you're trailing, as she has been for much of this match, this is a big moment for her to keep building, keep going on a little run, cutting into this lead that Devidze has built up.
Yes, good ball.
And it was who was going to break first
Yeah.
and go out of that rhythm going cross-court forehand to forehand. And it's Devidze first, but because she kind of pushes this ball to the angle here, it allows Gecheva to go hard cross-court. Watch her push that, and then the top spin cross-court winner.
Well, and that's a big adjustment there from Gecheva because earlier on, up until that point, she'd been trying to hit through Devidze up at the kitchen line. She gets that shape. Now, big issue here for Devidze. She took a timeout when it was 5-1. Gecheva's on a run here. She has to burn. She would have to burn her second timeout to end this run, potentially. And then what ends up happening if she does go down?
7-5.
Devidze, though, with the side out when Gecheva's response goes long.
That's a good ball from Devidze now as she takes a little pace off and forces Gecheva to hit up on it, but then clips the tape. So Devidze halts the little mini run from Gecheva.
It was a 3-0 run there that Gecheva had put together.
8-5.
And now it has Devidze just 3 points away from winning the gold here in Philadelphia. Make it 2.
Well,
I was going to say Gecheva tried to rush that return there. She wanted to get up to the kitchen line early and put pressure on Devidze with the cut return. However, when you're running through that ball and you do not finish your stroke before you start moving, now we're running the risk of the miss hit, and that's exactly what Gecheva did right there. You can't fault her for wanting to get up there early and put pressure on, but you have to finish that stroke before you try to get through and apply that pressure.
So a timeout called on the court, as you can see. A lot of people making their way down here to watch the APPPickleballSuperstore.com Philadelphia Open. The bleachers filling in very nicely here on Championship Court. Christa Gecheva with a tall task ahead of her to try and not only break the serve from Salome Devidze, but try and claw her way back into this match, into this game, in order to force a decisive game 3. Because right now, Salome Devidze is sitting just 2 points away from winning our women's singles gold medal here in Philadelphia.
9-5.
Devidze with the serve.
just some unforced errors here late in game number 2 for Gecheva, and Devidze cruising along here.
Salome Devidze. She already has multiple gold medals in women's singles here on the APP Tour this season. Can she get another? Not on that one.
Oh, I thought Gecheva was in trouble.
Well wide.
Gecheva doing a good job to make that adjustment when the ball went off top of the net. So she's defended one championship point. Now she needs to get some points of her own here.
That's the first time up at the kitchen line we've seen Devidze take a big swing. She takes the big swing there, catches the ball late, it jumps up high off of the paddle. Ooh, wow. Devidze's ball actually skipped off of the line there.
I almost
Another look at it.
I almost thought that Devidze thought it was going out, and almost stood straight up for a split second. Nice ball though from Gecheva back down the line.
7-10.
There's too much height on those forehands there. She was trying to create some shape, but hitting through that hard and giving that height, you're feeding right to the Devidze forehand.
And in full sprint, trying to create shape. You're in full sprint, full motion. The last thing you can try, or the hardest thing to do, is try and create shape and not hit it that hard.
So another championship point opportunity here for Salome Devidze. And that will do it. Salome Devidze is your women's singles gold medalist here at the APPPickleballSuperstore.com Philadelphia Open, taking down Christa Gecheva, we will hear from Devidze when we come back.
Introducing Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of the APP Tour. They're ultra lightweight and responsive for incredible speed. They have Goodyear rubber outsoles with a specialized pickleball design for increased side-to-side stability and agility. Plus, they feature shock-absorbing foam and Skechers' famous relaxed fit design for incredible comfort game after game. Conquer the court in comfort. Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of the APP Tour.
The APP is presented by Skechers, Powerplate, Yola, and Level Up.
Back here on Championship Court, here's the Boca Raton championship point for Salome Devidze.
Yeah,
She's golden here, Chad.
Just too good from Devidze today, adding that little shaped forehand into her repertoire. We saw her pull that off a couple of times for winners, but a very, very strong performance from Salome Devidze. And we have AJ McCord that's down courtside with both of our players.
Welcome down to Championship Court. It's time for your Franklin Gold Medal Match interview. Let's give it up for the ladies here in Philadelphia, getting us started. A fantastic women's singles gold medal match. We're going to get to Salome Devidze in just a minute. But first, Christa, a championship Sunday in women's singles, and you're going against somebody who is just so strong in this game, committed to pickleball full-time just a little bit ago. What has it meant to you to be able to commit to this sport full-time, and how proud are you of yourself for getting this gold medal match?
Thank you. First of all, I want to say thank you to everyone for putting on this great event. Fans, you guys, everyone, it's been great, really nice event, and thank you for the support. I really felt everyone behind me there. I tried, couldn't put it off. Salome is a great player, and there's just no room for error against someone like Salome. I mean, I couldn't find the depth on my ball today, and she punched every single one of those, and that's what I take away from this match. I know what I got to work on to come back, and yeah, I recently put all my eggs in one basket, which is pickleball, and super excited about it. I love the game, super passionate about it, and results are slowly but surely coming in, and this is really my first serious singles. I think before I entered singles and just kind of messed around with it, but now I'm actually training and committing to singles, and what a great start to my singles career, I guess. So I'm super proud of myself and really excited to see where singles goes for me.
As you should be. Congratulations on your silver medal here in Philadelphia, Ken Herman. Go ahead and give it to her. Give it up for Christa Gecheva, silver medalist here in Philadelphia. And now, Salome Devidze, your fourth APP gold medal in women's singles this season. You get double dipped a few weeks ago in St. Louis to Dominique Schaefer, and I know that did not sit well with you. What did you do between St. Louis and here to make sure the result was different?
Screwed my head on right. No. Well, first of all, congratulations and welcome. And I know we're going to play many more times, and you're an amazing player. Just, I went back and, that was my first week, and I told myself, don't focus on bad things that happen. Focus, stay positive. I always tell myself, stay positive. So it's so easy to get negative, and just worked hard and came back and did my best. And I knew that a lot of balls would come back over the net today, and I just focused 1 point at a time.
And as those balls continue to come back over, you call a timeout there in game 2. What did you want to remind yourself of? What did you need that breather for?
Well, don't tell anyone, but I had to burp, and I didn't want to do it on the camera, so I took a timeout and turned around. But honestly, whenever I take a timeout or not, my mind goes to one point at a time, next point. You know, she plays great point. If my mind stays on it, I will feel like negative, so just 1 point at a time, no matter what's going on.
1 point at a time, got it done today. Congratulations, Salome Devidze, our women's singles gold medalist at the 2023 PickleballSuperstore.com Philadelphia Open. Give it up for Salome Devidze, and we will be right back.